Hi, my name is Dan and I am one of the tutors for the Only Good Vibes Music Academy. Today I'm going to be giving you an overview of some of the new features for Ableton Live 11. Before I get started, please remember to subscribe to the Only Good Vibes music channel by clicking subscribe or by clicking on the bell. So some of the new features I'm going to be showing you today include the new addition of comping, being able to adjust the velocities on your MIDI notes much easier, and a brand new feature around scales where you can highlight the specific notes in a musical key that you're working in. Okay, let's get stuck in then. So on initial kind of loading up the software, it doesn't look that different actually to begin with. But I think it's just a bit more organized around here in the kind of browser section. So before, everything was kind of a bit more kind of scattered about. You had to kind of hunt them down, various kind of aspects of the software. So for example, the audio effects now have all been organized into various kind of categories, which is really, really helpful, because if you're quite new to Ableton, and you're looking at all the different audio effects and all the different sounds and things, you can kind of get a bit confused, like what does that actually do? So it's good that they've actually put it into different folders here. And so for example here, there's like the delay loop, drive color, dynamics. And yeah, so when you're kind of approaching to produce a track or mix down a track, at least you kind of can see here what everything should be really in those categories. So yeah, I think that's a really, really cool new organized feature to the software. Next, if you go down here, we've got a groove pool where you can kind of, there's absolutely tons and tons on here. I'm not sure which ones come with the software, just like with the user library, or there's other ones that I've downloaded loads and loads of packs on my software here. So these must be kind of part of the packs, and there must be some new grooves that they've added here. So and again, this is really, really helpful, because I found it quite difficult to kind of find where were the grooves, and I always had to kind of find it. There's a certain way that I used to have to kind of search for them. Whereas now, they kind of, underneath the samples, you've got a little section here which says grooves, and then you can preview them just by clicking on it. So yeah, and so on. So you can kind of select the groove that you want on there, which I think is really cool. And one of the next features I think is really, really helpful actually. And I have a kind of main template that I use. As soon as my software loads up, I've kind of got a couple of audio tracks. I've got various synths that kind of load up, because that's what I kind of use straight away as soon as I start producing anything. So it's really cool here that you can kind of save your project as a template. So say for example, every project you start off with a couple of audio tracks, a couple of MIDI tracks. There might be a specific synth that you use. There might be some, I don't know, certain kind of preset, compression, limiter or something that you use on your master. And it's just really handy just to be able to kind of go, right, load, there you go, bang, there's my template. Or you might have a kind of separate template which is kind of set up just for maybe mixing your tracks down, or maybe mastering. So you might have a kind of specific EQ or compression limiter again that you might use when you're mixing or mastering your tracks. So it's just great to be able to save your project as a template, and you can just keep using it again and again. So there's a few kind of defaults here: 8-track, demo, sketch, podcast. So I might have one for kind of Dan's template, my own template. I might have a different one for like a remix, for example. Or like I said, yeah, doing a mix down master or something like that. So to set your own templates up, you just have to go up to File, and then you save template as. So you can save live set as a template, and yeah, and then it's there in the template section. So the final visual change I've noticed within Ableton is down here when you kind of look at the MIDI and the audio in the clip view, kind of at the bottom. So if I just quickly grab a sample, and you'll see the difference here. And they're quite subtle changes, but I think it makes a real difference to kind of how things look. So if I just double click on this audio clip here, and then at the bottom, that's pretty much the same, where you can kind of edit your audio and warping. All these sections seem to be the same, but this section here seems to be quite different. So it's just how they've laid it out. It just looks a little bit clearer. So before there was like a loop button here, now there's a whole loop section over here. Time signatures down there. You can do a hot swap on the groove down there as well, and just things like, yeah, the drop down for the warping, that looks a little bit tidier. And whereas before you had like a triangle button here that opened out the envelope section. Instead, now you've kind of got a tab down here, so you can kind of switch in between, which I just think, yeah, just makes it a little bit tidier and a little bit visually appealing. So one of the newest additions to Ableton Live 11 is the comping feature, which I believe is available on other bits of software, other pieces of software. But yeah, this is totally new to Ableton. And what it is in a nutshell is, say for example, you were recording a vocal, like a vocal hook, or you might record, I don't know, a guitar solo or something like that. What comping does, it allows you to take kind of multiple takes of that hook or that riff or whatever it may be, and you can pick and choose the best kind of sections of what you've recorded. So you might record, I don't know, 10 different versions of the vocal, of the same vocal, but there might be kind of one aspect which is slightly stronger in one of the recordings that you've done. So you can basically chop and change it. And it's quite a really easy way to do it. So that's kind of one way that you would use it. Also for creating your own maybe percussion patterns, drum loops and stuff, you can pick and choose, I don't know, half a dozen loops, and again just pick out the little sections that you want. So to begin with, I'll show you how to do it with some percussion. So on an audio track, I've just got a blank audio channel here. And then underneath, you need to insert a take lane. So this has never been seen on Ableton before. So you've got these lanes underneath here. So I'm just going to insert take lane here. There's a shortcut for that there, as you can see. So let's just put 5 take lanes in there. So the first one, I'm going to put on this little percussion loop here. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see it a bit more. And then let's put the second one down. So they were slightly different loops, similar sort of style, but slightly different loops. So I'm just going to drag and drop these down here. So I've got these 5 take lanes underneath, and as you can see from the audio, slightly different. These are kind of percussion tops. If I just play the first one, generally something you'd put over the top of like a kick and a snare. So I'm just going to do a bit random. So to take various kind of clips, like samples from these different loops, all you need to do, just highlight the section that you want and press enter, and then you see it takes it to the top. Let's take that bit there, let's highlight that, let's take that bit there, let's take all of that section, let's go from there to like there. Let's just do it totally random. What's going to go there? Let's have something going in there. There's something that's there. Press enter. There you go. So now you can see at the top, this is like my new audio loop that's been created out of these other loops underneath. So how does that sound? Let's just quickly loop that section. Can hear it on the loop. And then what you would do, you would highlight all of that. Consolidate it, right click, go to consolidate, there it is, and then move that over. So you move that over, and then, okay, let's do another one quickly. This time let's start from the bottom loop, enter, let's go up to this loop here, enter, let's go to there, up to there, back down to the bottom, middle one. Let's go to that one there, and then let's just take that last one there. So how does that sound? There you go. So that's how you use comping with audio loops to create your own unique audio loops on there. So another aspect to comping is being able to record multiple audio takes of something. And yeah, I guess the idea is that you'll kind of take the best bits from those takes, and then that's the main one that you would use. So up here I've got a MIDI channel, and let me just chuck a kind of piano synth on here that we can use. That's cool. And then I'll just create an audio channel underneath. So let's just call this piano takes. Spell it. And I'm just going to send the audio to the piano takes here, and then there we go, monitor. So that's all good. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little idea that I've just made here. Okay, so that's a little kind of piano riff there. So I'm going to record this underneath. Before I start recording though, on the audio channel, I'm going to right click and then insert a take lane. So you see it's just one take lane at the moment, but I've got this 4-bar loop here. And every time it loops round, the software will create another audio take lane underneath. And you just keep going until you've kind of think you've got a really good one. And then pick and choose the best ones. So let's give it a go. The MIDI will record over the top, but that's all good. Okay, let's just delete that last one because I won't use that. That was only short. Let me just mute the MIDI up there. Okay, so now you can see here we've got 4 versions of that little piano riff that I was taking. So take 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can listen to the separate pieces of audio just by clicking on this little new speaker button here, and then you can have a little listen and go, I like that one, I don't like that one, whatever. So like I previously showed you with the audio loops, the percussion audio loops, we can do the same thing, but this time I'm just going to take that metronome off. This time we're just using the piano. So say for example that first piano chord there, let's use that one. So highlight it, press enter, and that's put it up to the top. Let's go down to the second one here. So that was quite nice as well. Let's stick that up there. That goes up the top. What does the third one do? Let's take that one there. There were a few bum notes that I was playing in, so obviously we don't want those ones. And then this last one here. Okay, let's highlight that. Enter. And now we've got our new audio loop up here. What does that sound like? See, that one wasn't very good there, so I'm just going to delete that one out, and then let's go down to a different one. Which one was better here? What does this one sound like? Yeah, definitely not the end bit there. What about here? How does that sound? Yeah, sounds better. Maybe not that one. Let's go to... So that one sounds alright there. How does it sound in the loop? Yeah. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong bit there. There we go. There's a few pops and clicks in there. Obviously, you can tidy those up with the fades, things like that. But then once you've done that, you consolidate them, and then you've got your own kind of best of all the takes that you've got there. Right, okay, so one of the other new features to the update on Ableton Live 11 is the velocities. And I've always found, the velocities within MIDI can always be a bit problematic, quite difficult to like move around, kind of look at what you're actually kind of changing on the velocities. So there's a really cool feature on here which you can randomize the velocities. So if I just quickly load up a drum kit and just load up a clip there, I'm just going to put a 16, like a 1-bar kind of 16 hi-hat pattern on here. And where's my hi-hat? There we go. There's my hi-hat. So I'm just going to quickly draw, let's just draw that in there, have a 16 pattern. I'm just going to quickly consolidate all of that. So we've got one audio loop. There we go at the bottom here. So currently, everything is at the same velocity. So everything's like super loud on the velocity. So I think it's right at the top at 127. So previously, it kind of looked like a lollipop stick where you'd grab the circle at the top and you could drag it up and down. Whereas now, the velocity is kind of like a lollipop stick but on its side. And you can grab the lollipop stick to bring the velocity level up and down. So you can kind of do it yourself. It just makes it a bit easier, I think, when you're kind of wanting to change the velocities on various notes. So on here, so I could highlight all of those velocities there and grab them all in one go and move them up and down, which is really cool. This makes things a little bit easier, and you don't want to be kind of like fiddling around, zooming in and out, trying to change the velocity on like one note and get a bit fiddly. You want things to be nice and easy. But then this new feature has appeared here. So up to date, I've only been really messing around with the randomise section. But just now, obviously, the hi-hats were straight. So you don't really want straight hi-hats. You want them to have a bit more feel to them, a bit more kind of movement, you could say. So the randomise, just highlight everything that you want to be randomised, and then just hit the button, and you see that everything's kind of moved around a little bit. And this allows the notes to have a bit more feel to them now. And so on. So you could do that with anything really. So if you had some chords, some keys or something, a bass line or something like that, and you don't want it all to be the same velocity. Like I said, you want to have a bit of feel to the notes that you're playing with. And this is a really cool feature, which just makes our life a little bit easier. So I'd probably write some notes in, play some notes in, randomise the velocities, and then probably just move them around a little bit just to kind of tweak them to the sound that I want. Okay, so the next new feature I'm going to be showing you is around scales, and I think this is a brilliant feature. Obviously, it does help to have some music theory knowledge, have the kind of basics of music theory, but understanding scales can be quite complicated, understanding chords. So being able to kind of work around, I don't know, you might come across like an amazing vocal sample, and you know what key it's in, but you're kind of struggling to know what notes to play within that key. So the new update on the software here allows you to, it basically shows you what notes to play in that key. So if I show you what I mean, if I go over to, let me just create another sound. Here we go. Okay, so at the moment, it's playing it on my keyboard here. And then if I just create an empty clip. So down at the bottom here, there's a new button, new section under the clip. If you go to scale, I can hit scale. Currently, we are in C major. So all of the notes here at the bottom are in C major. So you can see there, because they've all been highlighted in blue, and you can kind of see them going across there. If I change the color of that clip, so you can kind of see, whatever color the clip is, that's what they'll be highlighted. So currently, because we're in C major, so we're just using all the white notes, C majors, all the white notes, and so on. I might just change that to a slightly more basic kind of sound. So that's in C major there, and you can see that because all the white notes have been highlighted here. Now if I were to change that to C minor, then with C minor you get the kind of the E flat, makes it the minor in there, and you can kind of see that now that the instead of it being the white E note there, we've got an E flat there, which allows you to kind of play those notes there. Let me just move that back to up a little bit. There we go. We can see there's the notes that I'm playing. So that's really cool. Like I said, if you come across if you know what key you're working in, and if it's quite a tricky key that you're working in, then at least you know what notes will work in a scale, or what notes would work in a chord. So if you're gonna, I don't know, create some strings in the background, then at least now you can like do some chords around those notes, and the software will tell you what key to basically put those notes on, which is cool. So I like the fact that you've got these unusual scales under here. A lot of these I've never even heard of before. So yeah, I think that'd just be quite good to have a little mess around with. Who knows what you can come up with using these interesting keys here. So, but yeah, your major and minor, they're your kind of standard, and then your Dorian, Mixolydian, Lydian, and etc. So again, if I go to, I don't know, Hungarian minor. So C in the Hungarian minor plays these notes here. So I think this new aspect to Ableton, being able to kind of identify the notes in a scale, will really, really help with your music making. And I think it will expose you to maybe some scales, chords, keys that you've never ever worked in before, and really hope that will help you making some amazing music. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope that these videos have been really, really helpful, will help you progress with your music making. I think these are really, really essential kind of new features that I've been showing you today. So yeah, get your head around these. I think that'll help you massively with your music making. So thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the Only Good Vibes YouTube channel to stay up to date with any new tutorials that I'm putting up, and also anything that's going on with Only Good Vibes.